Chat, I need some help. Chat, I need some help now. Ammo. Ammo, please.
Of game length by setting up a simple poll within the game. So I purchased this from Alex Davis, Muxy Zombie Demo. Put it in my Unreal Projects folder.
Project generating.
What we're going to do is we're going to go to our Unreal Projects folder. We're going to click on the Muxy Zombie Demo. Then we're going to create a new folder for install our plugin from the marketplace. But while we're still in development and polishing it off, you have to grab it from us directly, and I will paste in here the Muxy Unreal plugin, which contains all of our source code, libraries. All right, so the first step we're going to take is we are going to make sure our plugin is available. So we're going to go to Plugins, type Muxy, there it is, Muxy Unreal plugin, perfect. Let's go to the settings screen, and let's add in our connection to Muxy. So we'll go to the main menu, let's go to settings, I'm going to copy this, paste this, name this block to connect to Muxy, .3. Then I need as well in here a remove that button, and we need a input, a text box so someone can enter their JWT code. So we want this on this side. All right, this will be where people will enter their text box. Doesn't look pretty, but it will work. And then what we're going to need to do is go to the blueprint, and we're going to need to fire an event off of this button. So this one we're going to call put hint tags enter code extension, this connection string. And then we're going to go in here, we're going to name this connect button. And when this button is clicked, we will have a on-clicked action. In this on-clicked, we're going to do something that looks like this. We're going to search for a Muxy function, authenticate with code, because what we're doing. We're going to get our connection string. Oh, it's right over here as a variable. Get text box, and then put that return value in as a code. It'll automatically do a cast for us. We get our client ID, add it here, and then we go to the next stage, which will be, so after we've authenticated, so we've got to hook up the on-click to authentication. And then what we're going to need to do is we're going to need to create a event, assign on Muxy auth, which will give us a bind event, and the auth event itself to trigger off of. And to hook that up, we need to hook up to the event source. So we need to make an event source to here, this connects to here. Need another one. To get the source of the event, which in this case is the auth event, that will have our return value. Which we use the Muxy get JWT function out. We're going to create a game save slot. In this, we are going to need a class. So we don't have a current save game slot. So to fix that, we're going to minimize this. Again, we're going to create a new blueprint class, and it will be of custom type save game select. We'll put this in our widgets. We'll put it in the root directory. We'll call this JWT save. Store this as a string. We're going to call it JWT. And we can compile that. This should give us everything we need. Now we can select JWT save. And from here, we're going to need to do set JWT hook that up. Make sure we hook that up. Make this look a little better too by make this look a little better by moving this here, moving this here. And then now we're going to save the game to the slot. I'm going to call it JWT-save. And the save game object is the return value of the created save game object. This doesn't need to return anything. This is not the slot name. Whoops. Break this connection. And that is all we have to do except for hooking this up to the begin play event. So I'm going to go to the begin play event. This is called after the widget's loaded. So I'm going to add a pin. I'm going to hook this whole thing up down here. So this actually does not do a connection, but what it does do is when someone comes in, they'll be able to paste their code, click connect, and it will save, authenticate with Muxy, and create a JWT and save it here. When they authenticate, an on-auth event will be fired. We're hooked up to the event source. Then we create a save game object, we set a JWT, and we save it to a game slot. So now let's go do something with this. So let's make sure it compiles. Whoops. Did I name something wrong? Oh, whoops. This needs a target. There we go. All compiled and ready to go. All right. Boom. And now we will go to, let's find the base character. Now this one's going to be a little more complicated. So we're going to add a comment to keep this stuff organized in case I need to expand it. We'll call this ammo or health. So we'll let the audience give either ammo or health to the player. And to do that, we're going to do just go to input, keyboard events, choose the C key. On press, we're going to branch, and we are going to check a variable that we are going to create. Add variable is, call it is full active. Let's create another one to check if we're connected. Is connected. So we're going to check if there's currently a poll. And if that's true, we're not going to do anything. However, if there isn't a poll active, we're going to branch again. And we're going to check if we are connected to Muxy. It's always good to double check these connections. And if that is true, we can jump straight to our connection. However, I'm going to make the connection logic very quickly for the false branch of this. So if we're not connected, I'm going to load game from slot. This was JWT save from our current user. We're going to cast to and the next function is going to be authenticate. That's that client ID again. Probably should have set a default value for it in a variable. That would have been a much cleaner way to do this versus just pasting it in here. Paste it into the client ID field. That'll be either your extension or this ID if you're using the Muxy default extension just to test out game link. We'll push that into there. Oh, we need to get the JWT and hook that up right there. So yeah, let's actually print a string when we're done. After we connect, we are going to also print that we connected, and we're going to set is connected to true. So that means we won't have to be setting up this connection every single time we push forward. So let's create our poll. Right now we only have 2 options implemented, but we'll be adding a lot more functions here in the future. The prompt is going to be out or bullets. That's what the viewers will be asked. Their first choice is to give me full health, or the other option is going to be to give me 100 bullets. And for an ID, let's just do a random integer max value of like that poll IDs are unique to each single channel. This should make it unlikely for us to collide on poll IDs. And we will be deleting polls at one step, so that's okay as well. So we're going to hook this up to the ID. It'll automatically cast that for me. So when we've created the poll, our next steps are going to look like this. We're going to first set poll to true. Then we're going to broadcast a message. This message is on the poll update topic. And we're going to broadcast an empty JSON to let us know we were listening for updates. Next let's create a delay. Let's give the audience 10 seconds to decide. And then next we're going to call a Muxy function called Q, get results latent. So these are blocking actions, as you can see with the things. These block the flow of this until they complete. Then the next step would be to get, look, we're already running out of space. So get results. Move this over here. Now we have results. We have the index of the winner, and we have the vote count. So vote count, we will hook up to a greater integer greater than another integer. And we're going to make sure that at least one person voted. We're also going to print a debug message. Let's say the format will be results winner. Votes. We will pipe the winner in. We'll pipe the vote count in. And then we will print this out. make sure it's printing to the log as well. Perfect. And then we'll trigger this after our get results has happened. So we have valid results. After this step, we're going to branch. No, actually, yes, we do need a branch. So and this branch is going to be based off of here. Just going to hook this into there. So if no one voted, we're going to call A short delay We're going to delete the poll. We're going to set poll as active to false after we delete the poll. However, if this is true, let's move all this up here. I know the wires are going to cross, but there we go. I can type properly. So we're going to add a sequence on the true event. The second step of the sequence will be deleting the poll. Oh, it looks kind of ugly, but so be it. Actually create the adding of ammo and the setting of full health. So we will need to do a switch statement. I'm going to move this way back here for the space. Switch on int. So this one only has two options. This is the full health option, and this is the 100 bullets option. And the selection is from winner. Oh yeah, can't grab it from that side. Can't grab it from this side. Still getting used to Blueprint. So there we go. Now, I believe the best way to do this part is I'm going to save the home. When we create the poll, we have to hook it to here. And the one nice thing about Blueprint is the compiler is rather robust and tries pretty hard to not let you make mistakes. So queue get results, and delete poll all should be hooked up to the polling object. So compile, save, perfect. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to steal a little bit of the blueprint from a different place in the game code. So I'm going to close the base character. I'm going to go to traders. Let's go with the ammo trader because it should have everything we need. I think the part we want is obviously all of it. I'll grab all of it and I'll cut out the stuff I don't need. So if you have an existing game, one thing you can do is, if you've made these atomic, you can call this function. This function needs to be slightly modified, so we can't just simply call it, because this one takes into account money and other stuff that we don't really care about. We just want the audience to give the player either money or health. So we're going to copy that. I hit Control-C. I'm going to close this. I'm going to go to characters. Now I'm going to paste it in. Okay. So we don't need is money. We don't need to set the money. We don't need to mess with any money. So we're going to delete all that. I believe this is important for the health. And what we connect to this guy is, instead of, we shouldn't need to cast anything because we start, this is the inside the BP base character, so we can get a reference to self. And self should be able to plug right into here. And self should be able to plug into here. Actually, I don't even think we need this. Because I don't need this branch. Do we even need this? No, we don't. I don't even think we need this target player state. I believe that's all we need. And that should just be hooked up to our switch on 1. Boom. So it'll go through here, and it will add 100 bullets to both weapons for the player. Now in the case of 0, which was our full health option, we are going to do this one's much easier. IF set health. The target is going to be this. New health 100. And that should be it. Let's make sure we have everything hooked up. Sequence 2, we go to delay. Alright, health is set. Results winner. Now this is all you need to add Muxy's game link to your game.